Hey guys, Ramp here, back again with this series. We're almost done. We have a handful of maps left. Theme Park is one of the ones that I have not done yet. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. I know I've been getting a lot of great feedback. You guys have been loving it. I know it's been helping a lot of you win some of your ranked matches. So I'm hoping, this is going to do the same thing for you guys. As always, if you guys can like, comment, and share this video, goes a long way. It helps me out a lot. If you guys aren't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button for me. But we're going to jump in to the first bomb site that everybody normally likes to go, which is Initiation and Office. So we're going to jump in, and I'm going to show you where my favorite spots are for Kapkan. So when I first jump in to this map, we end up having Mira, I will say, is the majority of the time is banned when you're on defense first. So most of the time, I like to come over here and throw them on either this door, because you end up getting people that are pushing from the hatch, from in control here, or I like throwing them on this door frame here as well. I know they can easily be seen from the actual window or anything like that, but I do like putting them on this door frame here, just because if people drop hatch and they rotate towards dragon, it ends up being a good spot that I've actually gotten a good amount of kills with. But I also like to come on over. I will end up putting them, I hit that little toolbox right there, and I like fitting them right on this door frame here, because you end up getting teams that might be pushing from over here in top dragon, or if they come from control and they want to push through. Or a lot of times, teams are not looking down here when they're pushing through the door frame here. They're looking, down the hallway. So I usually get a decent amount of kills with that as well. Sometimes I will put them on the shower door here as well. You end up getting a lot of teams that are pushing in. They're not really looking too much here. They're doing a quick peek, and they're not looking down. So you end up getting a good amount. They're usually looking down, ADSing down this way for anybody that is sitting in the office site. A couple other spots I do like to use. Sometimes I will put them either on this door. It varies, because a lot of times they'll break the door down and then they'll drone. So they'll usually see those. You could potentially get some kills by using this door frame. It's just out in the open a good amount that I don't feel like I end up getting a lot from. But one I do like to use is this door frame here. You get people that are trying to clear out all the way over from daycare and making sure that, there's nobody roaming, that kind of thing. And they're pushing in through, and they're not really looking to look down here. There's no point, because these boxes are here. So they're going to be aiming down over here, or they're going to be looking towards the bomb site over here. And you end up getting those people that are trying to clear, putting it on there. The other one that I do like to use is here. It sounds weird, but you'll get teams that want to push in through the windows, and they want to go ahead and they want to get into initiation from this wall here. So I do like to end up putting Kapkan traps on here, because they're not really paying attention to that kind of stuff as they come on in. And I've gotten some kills with that one as well. I don't normally put too much in terms of downstairs, because there's not a lot of vertical play on the bomb sites here, because a lot of this, I know there's some stuff here, but a lot of the bomb site, usually not many people are playing that vertical. So I hope this helps, and we are going to jump on to the next bomb site. See you guys there. On to the next site here. Typically, if a team is one initiation in office, they will usually go throne in armory, or sometimes they'll go bunk and daycare. I'm just going to jump into bunk and daycare so you guys can see that one, and then we're going to save armory and throne for last. But we're going to jump on in here. And so you guys are going to see some of my best spots here. You will see there are some spots that are pretty common, the same as, holding down initiation in office. But I like coming in here, putting them on this door frame here, just because you'll have a lot of teams that end up pushing from the hatch, or they'll push in from top dragon, because they want to take this initiation wall. And I usually put them here. I end up getting a decent amount of kills with that. And I just want to preface this. I am in high emerald, low diamond lobbies. So you would think some of these players are a little bit more knowledgeable, that they're actually droning. But I do get a good amount of kills with that particular Kapkan there, with them trying to come take that wall. Same thing with this one over here. I will go ahead and I will hit this little toolbox here, for good luck and to make these Kapkan traps fit. And I will put them on this door frame once again for teams that are trying to clear out top dragon, making sure there's nobody over here. Maybe nomad off top dragon, whatever it may be. I'll end up getting a decent amount of people that just run straight through here, not thinking that there's any Kapkans there. And then same thing with on this particular door here. I'll end up putting them because as teams are coming in, they end up droning it out. They don't typically see the Kapkans there. So I've definitely had some very good success on that. Now, if you think teams are going to be pushing from, over on cafe side, or they're going to push from anywhere over here, my best suggestion, once again, on this door frame is actually better that I've come to find personally when you're defending bunks in daycare. Not so much when you're defending the initiation office side. Just because of the fact that when you're defending here, you're probably in the hallway or you've maybe made some head holes here to watch into cafe. So they're not necessarily looking down to try to look for Kapkan traps here. They're looking here above this box. They're looking, to make sure there's nobody over here on the flank. They're looking towards top arcade here, or they're looking in the holes. And when they go to push up, they're hitting Kapkan traps here. It doesn't seem like it's a very good spot. But when you're defending this site, it ends up being a fantastic site, a fantastic spot for that. So I do like putting them there. I will go ahead and I will put some of them downstairs. Sometimes you'll end up getting teams that want to push below because sometimes you'll have players that are playing below to try to get, the cafe kills. So sometimes you can put them here on, the lab door. And so they're not really paying attention over here to the right as they're pushing in. The other one that you could put them on is here because sometimes I have seen players push through this window to push below arcade entrance here. So those are some of my best spots. You can use some of the door frames like here. It does kind of blend in on this side a little bit if you want to use here. If the teams, because obviously you're not going to end up picking this site normally first. And if these teams have been pushing super, super slow, my best suggestion is putting them on that door frame. Because if they're rushing last second, they're not looking for Kapkan traps on that door. Just my suggestion on that one. Same thing, if teams are pushing extremely slow, you can put a Kapkan trap on here as well. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat on why I put them in certain spots. But we're going to move to the last bomb site. I'll check you guys there. All right, guys, on to the last bomb site that you will typically be, you will see in a ranked game, which is going to be Armory and Throne. So hopefully you guys are, still tuning in. And hopefully you guys are all still here for this last bomb site. And hopefully you're learning some good spots to use from a Kapkan main that is... I win the majority of my rounds on Kapkan. I think I have a 60% win rate. So, but typically if I play Kapkan, when we're defending Armory and Throne, I will normally come out and I will end up putting some right on this door frame here. Because you get a lot of teams that want to push into Gong and they want to go ahead and they want to take maintenance because they want to be able to get the maintenance wall here. To open that up. It's a very common spot to be able to want to open up. Same thing with wanting to open up this wall here to be able to get an angle into the bomb site from Dragon. So I will end up putting some Kapkan traps here because usually you'll get teams that end up droning out from the drone hole over here and they'll just drone out. They'll see nobody's in here and they'll be like, okay, you're safe to go in. And when the teams run in, they usually end up hitting those traps there. Some other spots that I do typically like to do, I'll end up putting them on this door here because you'll get some teams that want to push in through locker and they just end up busting the door in and they run in because they're not usually expecting anybody to be in here. So I don't usually see a lot of people droning, or if they do, they just blow right by the door because there's really not much to drone. You end up seeing everything from when you drone in all the way through. So sometimes I'll put them on the door there. Or you can end up putting them on the door here for bathroom, or here on this wall here, because you get some teams that are wanting to push through storage and through drug, and they'll end up coming through. You can put them on this side of the door frame is the best spot, because as they're coming through, they're not really, looking that way. They're ADSing and they're looking that way. You can put them in connector here if you really wanted to. Once again, if you feel like teams are some of those slow teams that are pushing, if you've noticed that while playing them, you can put them on the walls or on the doors here. I've typically found that it doesn't really get me as many kills putting them on the door frames here, just because if they've gotten one of these walls, any one of the 3 big walls, they're probably not going to end up pushing through here, or it's a last second push. Typically, they're going to push through a lot of times wherever they are, the wall that they've opened up. If you wanted to go ahead and hold down up top, because I know some teams will go ahead, try to hold down, make sure they don't get hatched, or make sure they're not opening up the floor here. Once again, I know this has been a common theme, but I've seen some really good luck, once again, putting it on that particular door frame, because teams are pushing in, from top dragon, where they drop through the hatch and they come on through. Same thing with, once again, you got to hit that little toolbox for good luck and then put them on here, because you get a lot of teams that are pushing through. Same thing with, if you want to put them on here, this is a very good spot as well to be able to push through there. The one other spot that I do like putting them on, once again, is on this door here, because you'll get some teams that are going to push through these windows into break room, and they want to be able to take over above here to be able to get the hatch above, the barrel room that's below here for this particular wall, depending on their push. So it really comes down to the team and how much they're actually, which ways they're pushing through. Kind of got to get lucky sometimes, but those are some of my most common spots. But guys, I appreciate everybody else that has, everybody that has been hanging out, everybody that's been watching these videos, everybody that's been showing some love. If you guys have made it this far into the video, please comment, ramp is amazing. Please do. If you've made it this far. Just so I know you made it there. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. I appreciate all the love and support. We will definitely be finishing up this series very soon. We have about 4 or 5 maps left on the series. I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out. We are going to finish these off pretty quickly. But remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff on YouTube. And I will check you guys in the next one. Later, guys.